Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. In the last part, we got the iron boots, and in this part, we are going to test them. Which, we cannot breathe underwater. We only have a minute and 36 seconds before we run out of oxygen. Link can hold his breath for a lot longer than I was expecting. Yeah, we get much more time than those few seconds you used to get. So that means we can go all the way to the bottom of the Zora Fountain if we wanted to. Because it's a deep water, but not super deep. And we move pretty quick with the iron boots on underwater. Just saying. We've got another piece of heart. No, we don't need the boots on right now. We are going to go and see the king after we slowly float our way up. Oh, not quite where I was expecting us to be. Fortunately, yeah, there is a land route over here, so you can get all the way back into the Zora Fountain right now. And we're about to make that one exception, two exceptions. So if we drop the blue fire right next to the king, as I say, nothing happens. No. We have freed the king of the Zoras. Let's talk to him again. Oh, I've come back to life. Was it you who saved me? Don't be nervous. Looks like you have a hard time breathing underwater. As an expression of my gratitude, I grant you this tunic. With this, you won't choke underwater. And switch over to our gear. We can put on the Zora tunic, which will stop one of our big issues, which is choking underwater. There isn't actually anything else we can do in here. Our next goal will be head over to Lake Hylia. Fortunately, well, that's what the song was for. Sorry, I couldn't read the face buttons on mine. I wish I had the colored ones, but it's a pitch black button on a black background. So, we are done in Zora's domain. Head over. And it brings you to Lake Hylia up here. In the rain. You can also, I was going to say grapple, but I guess not, the top of the tree. We're going to go down the front of this. And instead of immediately opening the temple, I do have one other thing I want to take care of while we're here. And it's to go visit some old friends. Aren't you the fairy buddy I met a long time ago? Wow, you grew, dude. Well, here's your song. What? No, I never forget. You're the one who forgot, aren't you? If you're the Ocarina, play that song, baby. And I actually had to go grab my old video to find out what it was. That. I guess I changed it at some point. Oh, I did axe. We learned the Scarecrow's song. Good idea, my buddy Pierre is wandering around, so play that tune when you want to call him. So, like he said, Pierre is wandering around. If we want to call Pierre, we just need to play that song. Does it show up in our list? It does not. We do not get to see what our Scarecrow song is, so I'm gonna have to make sure to leave a note. So, you can take this up, and now we're on top of the, I was going to say observatory, but that's definitely not what this is. On top of the research lab, I think that's what it's going to be called. The Lakeside Laboratory. So we can take this. The other benefit is it does bring you to the fishing minigame. Thank you, Navi. That was a very timely watch out. So if you want to do that before the temple as well, you can do that. But the real reason we're going all the way up here is to get this piece of heart. And there's another thing we can actually do right here before the temple as well. So if we go into this area, he's going to be all... I'm researching the process of making medicine, mixing water with various compounds. Or whatever. So you put the iron boots on, and we can actually roll into this chest. Though we don't get to use our sword underwater, I just realized. We got ourselves a gold sculptura. A little bit of money, and I thought it would actually count as something as well. However, I guess not at this point. Because I think that's how you're supposed to get the gold skull. And the gold, yeah, I guess not. Alright. That's how you're supposed to get the gold scale. I guess that has to wait till after the dungeon. In that case, let's get the dungeon started. You can put on the iron boots, and as long as you hit that with the grappling hook, it's going to slowly slide out and give us access to the water temple. And this is usually my stopping point for the game. I don't think I've beaten this temple in any of the times I've played it. So, from up here you can see 4 different directions we can take. I'm going to start with just all the paths we can get to right now, which is a lot more than just this top row. But the top row seems like a good place to start as any. For example, this one's currently blocked this way, so yeah, you can pull it all the way to that doorway and then it gets stopped as well. But that is the only thing you can do on this area, oddly enough. And you can see there are going to be a lot of hookshot points. That's because in this temple you can actually change the water level. So at this point now, let's go down a level. Thanks to the iron boots, it's just a simple button press. I'm so glad that they shifted it. It is no longer... Reminder, no sword underwater. And no bow underwater too. Normally that'd be what I'd use to deal with flying enemies, so the hook shot is definitely the weapon of choice for this dungeon. It sounds so muffled right now. Wait, you're kidding. We can't climb out of this one? This is as high as the water goes right now. So you can hookshot to one of 3 panels. First one doesn't let you out. The other 2 should. Like, this last one should. Well, I mean, we have a bow for a reason. So with the bow, you can just shoot that switch. And since we're already basically next to it, we were able to open it without a problem. And pick up an early compass. I'm actually a little surprised the compass was the first thing we found here. Because, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really remember how the dungeon is laid out. I am going to assume this is everything you can get on the second floor right now, and we should just work our way down to the basement. Oh, look at that. Torches. That's got to be the right first path. And it's green and squiggly, so... Look at that. Hello, Ruto. It's me, your fiancé, Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. Never forget the vows we made to each other 7 years ago. You're a terrible man to keep me waiting these long 7 years. But now's not the time to talk about love. Here, you've already seen it. Zora's domain, totally frozen. A young man named Sheik saved me from under the ice. But my father and other Zoras have not yet. I want to save them all. I want to save Zora's domain. You have to help me. This is a request from me, the woman who is going to be your wife. Bard, you have to help me destroy the evil monster in this temple. Inside the water temple, there are 3 places you can change the water level. I'll lead the way. Follow me quickly. And yes, one of the ways is just going to be head up well, 2 floors, but she floats off and we never see her again. Now we unhook our shoes and we are able to follow along as well. You don't have the ability to use bombs underwater in this game. We get that in Twilight Princess, but we can, however, go through this door. Not what I was expecting. And you'll see, you hit them once and they become stones. Then you can just break the stones with your sword. The reward for breaking those stones is the map. There's no way they're giving us the dungeon item at this point, so we have Fair's Wind, but still no magic, unfortunately. I was going to say, we can always Fair's Wind now, and that will help us. Because it would let us teleport back to that doorway that we just came out of. If we find any magic on our way before we open another door, I'm going to cast it. But if we can't, then that's that, really. Arrows. Arrows. No luck, unfortunately. This just might have no magic in this area. Alright, last chance will be coming from these guys, who are placed in a pond just deep enough to threaten us. They are not very solid rocks. Yep, no luck. So looks like we're gonna have to keep our iron boots ready. And we're not having any magic for this dungeon. I'm a little sad about that. Oh. We can just climb out. And with the hook shot, we can't reach that spot. meaning this is something we have to do later. Because, spoilers, the item you get in this dungeon is actually the long shot, which will let us get much further with, oh, hello, giant rock. Which will let us get much further grapple points. I was wondering if this was the rock we moved earlier, but that was way on the top floor, not the bottom. And we've gained another path a little further down. Hoping to find something we can work with. Oh, we hit the switch and it actually turns on a water spout for us to actually make our way over here. And our reward for that is a whirlpool room. Alright. In the next part, we will explore this room. Looks like there's a treasure chest at the end of it. See you guys then.